Hello guys, welcome again to the new episode of Pinoy in Australia. Today we're going to discuss how to replace the spark plug of Subaru Forester 2015 model. So in this topic we're going to tackle what are the easiest way to replace the spark plug of this particular model of Subaru. So we're also going to discuss what are the tools needed to unable to perform this job. So guys, join me how to replace the spark plug of this vehicle. Okay guys, let's review the tools that are needed when it comes to replacing the spark plug of Subaru Forester 2015 year model. So what we need is a 1/4 drive ratchet, a 1/4 drive socket, a 1/4 drive deep socket 8mm. This is used for removing the clamp on the throttle body side where the air filter housing ducting is mounted. So this 1/4 drive 10mm socket is used for removing the battery and also for removing the air filter housing. You also need this trim clip remover for removing the clip of the air ducting of the air filter. You also need a mechanical plier for removing the clamp of the vacuum hose. So what you need is a 14mm deep socket 1/2 drive. The size of the spark plug is 14mm. It's not 3/8 inch conventional spark plug socket. The conventional spark plug socket is too big on this spark plug. As you can see it's rotate. It's too loose. So you need a 14mm deep socket 1/2 drive. Some mechanic use 3/8 drive 14mm, but in my case it didn't work because my socket is too short. It is a Stanley brand. It didn't work for me. If you put the socket on the spark plug, as you can see, the tip of the spark plug is already level at the back of the socket. You cannot put the extension or ratchet on this socket. But if you have a different brand of socket like Snap-on, King Chrome, Sid Chrome, it might work because they might be much longer. So there are also some Stanley socket that have a longer one, the white deep socket, that will work, but this black one is too short to remove the spark plug. So you also need a 3-inch extension 1/2 drive and also a wobble extension, universal extension. So when you're removing the spark plug, when you fit in the socket, you can put the extension, the wobble extension, then use any of the extensions, short or long. You can use that one on the right hand side of the motor. But on the left hand side of the motor, you need to use the 3-inch extension bar. So on the right hand side, you can use these special tools. The black things that I'm holding right now, that belongs to a set of serpentine belt installer. So you can use that tools on the left hand side of the engine. You cannot use the conventional ratchets because there is limited space to remove that spark plug. So that special tools will perfectly fit on that side. These tools belongs to a set of serpentine bit installer, and let me show you the other parts come along with these tools. So this is what it looked like. It's, as you can see, serpentine belt tool set. This is used for installing serpentine belt tools for very tight engine. So once installing the spark plug, you can undo it with your fingers once you undo the socket with the ratchet or the special tools. So after that, you need to separate the socket and the extension using a pry bar. So once you separate the extension and the socket, you can use a pickup tools to extract the socket inside the cylinder. Then you can also remove the spark plug using the pickup tools, the magnetic pickup tools. When you're putting it back, insert first the spark plug, then insert the spark plug socket, then insert the 3-inch extension bar. Then tight it with your fingers. One is properly hand tight. Use the special tools to tighten properly the spark plug. So on the right hand side, you can use the ratchet. On the left hand side, you need to use that black special tools. So this is the left hand side of the motor. As you can see, there are lots of piping on the body side of the engine bay. So there is limited space when it comes to removing the spark plug. So on this side, I use the 14mm 1/2 drive socket, then the 3-inch extension bar, and I also use the black special tools, the one that I show you, the serpentine belt tools installer. So on the back side of that spark plug, the tools that you need is this one. This is black special tools. This will make a very big difference when it comes to installing the spark plug, especially on the back side of this left hand side of the engine. There are some mechanics that jacking up the engine to lift it up, but it will not work. So if you always work on this kind of engine, you better purchase these tools. You can purchase it in any auto supplies or tool shop. You can also buy them online. So this is the coil pack of this spark plug. So when putting back the coil pack, be careful not to drop the coil pack, because this part is too sensitive. Also avoid bending it. You can put it back easily, just a little bit of twisting, a little bit of aligning. So it's much easier to install back this coil pack if you use some silicone spray on the weather seal, because that weather seal part of the um, coil pack is a little bit harder if you don't put some lubrication. As you can see, my palm is just enough to go in between the engine and the body of the vehicle. So if you put some lubrication on it, it's much easier to put back the coil pack. And putting back the bolt for the coil pack, make sure that you tight it properly. Don't over tight it, because once you over tight it, either you broke the bolt or lost thread the thread on the engine side, and once you broke it, it's not easy to fix that problem, guys, because as you can see, the maintenance space on that area is too small. So if you have a 1/4-inch drive torque wrench, it's much be better to torque it. But if you're doing this for a very long time, you can tighten it properly with a torque wrench. But I prefer to, if you have a torque wrench, use the torque wrench. So even putting back this component, you really need lots of patience. So patience is one of the virtues that a mechanic have. Lots of patience. Okay guys, sorry about the fingers. My fingers blocking the camera. Sorry about that, because it's a little bit hard to film the job while you're installing the parts. So this particular model of Stanley socket, they are short. So if you have a white Stanley deep socket, that will work. But the black one, that's too short. So you can use the 1/4 drive ratchet to tighten the 10mm that bolt that's securing the ignition coil. Make sure you don't over tight that 10mm bolt, especially those who are doing by themselves, who are not really a professional mechanic. Just to really be careful to over torque that bolt. So if you're always doing this kind of job, especially this Subaru, I suggest you better buy a 1/4 drive torque wrench. It will assure you that you tighten properly the bolt that's securing the head of the coil pack. So when putting back the electrical socket of this coil pack, it's much harder to put back the socket on the back side of the engine, but on the front side of the coil pack, that's much easier. Just make sure that you will hear that click sound. Always double check your work, guys, because it will keep you away from any trouble or any back job. just remove the air filter housing of this vehicle. It is located on the left hand side corner. That hole that I'm pointing, that's where the screw of the air filter housing located. These two holes that I'm pointing right now, that is where the clip of the air filter ducting is located. So that is the throttle body. There's another ducting attached on it. The air ducting is located in between the throttle body and the air filter housing. So you need to undo the clamp in order to remove the air filter ducting. So this is the housing of the air filter. There's two mounting screw there. So that's the one mounted on this bracket. That bracket, and another one on the body side. So the air filter housing only got two screw holding on it. So that is your ignition coil pack. In order to remove the ignition coil pack, you need to remove that two 6mm bolt. So when you're going to remove the electrical socket of the ignition coil pack, use a small screwdriver or a pick to remove the lock of the electrical socket. Just be gentle on it, you don't want to damage it, especially if the vehicle is too old. Those clips are too brittle. So we need a 1/4 drive ratchet and a 10mm 1/4 drive socket to remove the bolt that holding the ignition coil pack. So this is the perfect tools to remove the bolt. If the ignition coil pack is staying there for a very long time and it is the first service to replace the spark plug, expect that the 10mm bolt is hard to remove, and be careful not to hit your arms on any component because it will give you a bad injury. Once you undo it, use your finger to remove the 6mm bolt. So the bolt is 6mm diameter, the head is 10mm. You need a 10mm spanner. Just be patient when it comes to removing the bolt that's securing the coil pack, because if you drop the bolt onto the engine side, it's very hard to recover the bolt. You need to remove the belly plate cover. In this video, I had dropped the bolt. I'm too lucky that I dropped it on the air filter housing location, after the chassis. So there's another cover there in the bottom, and it cuts the bolt, and it's very easy to recover the bolt. But if you drop it on the engine side, it's very hard to recover it. You need to remove the belly plate cover to get the bolt. If you're going to remove the coil pack, just wiggle it and twist it while you're pulling the coil pack. There's a weather seal on that coil pack that prevent the water to come inside the um, spark plug, and that is the reason why it's a little bit difficult to pull the coil pack. It must be better if you use both your hands and wiggle and twist it while you're pulling the ignition coil. So that's how you remove that coil pack. Do the same thing on the other side. Wiggle it and twist it while pulling the ignition coil pack. Okay guys, if you're going to remove the spark plug, insert first the socket, then put the universal extension with extension bar. You can use short or long extension bar on the right hand side of the engine because you get more space compared on the left hand side. On this side you can use the ratchet, but on the other side it's impossible to use the ratchet to undo the spark plug. So use the ratchet to undo the spark plug, then turn the extension with your fingers. So once it loose, you can turn it with your fingers. So the procedure when it comes to putting back the spark plug, do the same thing, just reverse the process. So that's how you remove the spark plug of the Subaru Forester. Okay guys, that's how you replace the spark plug of the Subaru 2019 year model. This is the best way and easiest way that I found how to work on this spark plug. So I hope this video will be helpful for you. If you're not yet subscribed on my YouTube channel, please press the subscribe button. Please also press the like button and also press the notification bell, so every time I upload a video on my YouTube channel you will be notified. So guys, thanks for watching. God bless.